The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Miss Lucilla Pondidum. Chapter 14. The Storm. About midnight, Joe woke and called the boy. There was a weighty stillness in the air that seemed to threaten something. The boy sought the friendly companionship of the fire, in spite of the dead heat of the breathless air. They sat still and expectant. Beyond the light of the fire, everything was swallowed up in the blackness. Presently, a weak flash of lightning dimly lit the tree for a moment and vanished. Another came, a little stronger, then another, then a faint moan came sighting through the branch, and the boy trembled, fancied that some spirit of the night had gone by. There was a pause. Now a terrible fight turned night into day, and so separated and distinct every little cat bat that grew about their feet. Each showed two white startled fade to a deep roar of thunder went crashing across the sky and lost itself in the distance. A cold breeze sprang up. It shocked all the leaves and scattered each about the fire. Another fierce flash lit up the forest, and a crash followed that seemed to tear the treetop right over the boy's head. They held on to each other in terror in the thick gloom that followed. A few big raindrops fell upon the leaf. "Quick, boy, go for the tent!" exclaimed Tom. They left away, stumbling over roots in the dark, each dashing in a different direction. A furious wild road toward the tree, making everything sing as it went. One blinding flash after another came, and row upon row of defending thunder. And now the rain poured down, and the rising wind dropped it inches along the ground. The boy cried out to each other, but the howling wind and the roaring thunder drowned their voice utterly. However, one by one they stretched in at last and took shelter under the tent, cold-flinted and streaming with water. The old shell beat about so furiously that they could not talk, even if the other noise had awed them. The storm rose higher and higher, and presently the sail tore loose from its fitting and went flying away on the wind. The boys seized each other's hand and fled, with many stumbling and bruises, to the shelter of a great oak that stood upon the river bank. Now the battle was at its highest. Under the crispness fed the flame in the sky. Everything below the bending tree, the river white with foam, the dim outline of the cliff on the other side seen toward the raging cold, and the field of land stood out in clean-cut and shadowless distinctness. From time to time some gently yielded in the fight and fell crashing, thought the younger girl. The thunder came now in a sweeping, exquisite burst, picturesquely neat and unspeakably awful. The storm ended with one gigantic effort that seemed likely to tear the island to pieces, burn it up, down it to the treetop, blow it away, and deafen every creature in it, all at one and the same moment. It was a wild night for homeless young heat to be out in. But at last the battle was over, and the force of nature retired with vigor and victory and peace returned. The boy went back to camp a good deal early, but they found that there was still something to be thankful for, because the great tree which had been the shelter of their bed was a run now split by the lightning. Everything in the camp was wet, thought the campfire as well. Here was a disaster, for they were wet to the skin and shivering. However, they discovered that the fire had eaten so far up the great slope again, which it had been with, had a few inches, has escaped wetting. They pettily worked at the windlass and bracket from the underside of shelter log until the picture that into burn again. Then they peeled on kid dead wretched till they had a rousing rest. They died their food and had a feast. After that they sat by the fire and fulfilled their midnight adventure until morning, for there was not a dark spot to sleep on anywhere around. As the sun grew softer, the boy felt sleepy, and they went out on the sandbar and lay down. They were soon burned out by the sun, and wearily began to prepare breakfast. After the meal, they felt stiff joy and a little homesick once more. Tom saw the sign and tried to cheer up the pirate as well as he could, but they cared nothing for marble, or circus, or swimming, or anything. He proposed that they should stop being pirates for a time and be Red Indian for a change. They were enchanted by his idea. It was not long before they were stripped and stiff from head to heel with bank mud, all of them chief, of course, and then they went dashing through the woods of attack an English settlement. Afterward, they separated into three rural tribes and sprang out upon each other from hiding place, with their full war cry, and killed and skinned each other by thousands. It was a bloody day, and therefore was a satisfactory one. They seemed wet in camp towards supper time, hungry and happy, but now a different arose Indian. Tried at war with each other, could not break bread together without first making peace, and this was simply an impossibility. Without smoking a pipe of peace, two of the redskins almost wished that they had remained pirates. However, there was no other way, so with as much cheerfulness as they could pretend, they called for the pipe and took their puff. as it passed with proper ceremony. They were glad that they had become redskins, for they found that they could now smoke a little without having to go and hunt for a lost night. They did not get sick enough to be seriously uncomfortable. They practiced courageously after supper with fair success, and so they spent a joyful evening.